what we're going to cover is a lot of wrestling up. So we're going to cover a lot of half guard, transitioning from a bad position, which will transition from mount and side control into a half guard positions or wrestle up positions if I get underhooks. Just because I tell everybody, how many black belts are there? I know we have a lot. Raise your hand. Black belts, brown belts, purple belts, blue belts. Okay, white belts. We were all white belts one time, so I'll feel bad. But in law enforcement, I always say, and Rob and I actually had a conversation about it yesterday, getting back and trying to retain guard is not a good idea in law enforcement. It just isn't. You're on your back, and where's Henry? And if you're in Rochester, you might be getting stabbed in the back with a needle. We don't know. Well, downtown Reno is very similar, so or homeless poop or something. So we don't want to be on our back. So if you're in side control bottom and you can get back to a half guard position or wrestle up, it's a way better transition than trying to get back into a full guard position, right? And there's nothing wrong. There's a lot of good guys that are really good, like sport jiu-jitsu that can transition like for law enforcement, right? That's like Dylan's phenomenal, but I guarantee you on the street, Dylan's not pulling guard and sitting on his butt and playing, an open guard game, right? He's going to smash and get back on top. It's grass, it's all. I think we all know that, right? So I really want to cover wrestling up. No, I'm not a Division I wrestler or anything like that. I've learned from a lot of really good guys. I was a football player, as you can tell by Henry's question yesterday.
You killed it, by the way.
Yeah.
But I learned how to wrestle afterwards, right? I wrestled like in middle school, played football, and then afterwards, when I got into jiu-jitsu, I'm like, man, I need to learn wrestling. Probably like a lot of us. How many of you guys are like collegiate level wrestlers? Or high school? High school wrestlers. Okay. Still, I mean, wrestling is such a big part of grappling. We say a lot like police jiu-jitsu, but wrestling is a big portion, especially for law enforcement. You have to have a wrestling base to be good in law enforcement combatives. So, with that said, we'll get started. So we're going to start from this, even though we're going to start from half guard, just because the half guard position I get to my wrestle ups is going to transition into every single position we do from this position on. So I like to run what's called a rudder. A lot of you guys probably use something similar, different name. It's jiu-jitsu. If you're a 10th Planet guy, I'm sorry, you probably have some weird name for it. I don't know. But my goal in half guard is always to get my both feet inside. The reason I like to do that is I like to get what I call the rudder. Some people call it, they're like some different names. So when I'm here with Bill, I get this position on my foot. So I like to pin his foot and get it offline. You can keep it again. So if you can't see it, everyone see it? Yes. All right. From here, though, my goal on bottom, and anytime I have control of a leg, is always to get his foot and his knee off the mat. Another thing you'll see that I do is I don't go to the back in no-gi. If I don't have something I can grip and grab, I don't go to the back, I go to the hamstring. So what I do is I grip Bill right under his butt cheek, and I literally just wrap around here and grab his hamstring. So when I do that, I touch my ear to his rib cage, and then I slide my leg back so that my big chubby leg right there is on his patella. So now when I have this with Bill, he has a labored movement from his hip. Right, so he tries to move around. It's extremely labored. And then from here is my wrestle up position, okay? Then I'm going to come up here, get to my hand, and then when I come up, I elevate my leg. So with Bill's legs elevated, now I can really continue that wrestle up. So that's going to be the first start of what we're going to do. So half guard, okay? You can get frames. This is all up to you guys, how you guys like to frame. Armpits, I don't care. Both feet inside. This rudder comes to this position here. I shoot this underhook. I get right here, right onto the hamstring. Okay? Ear goes to head. Leg slides. Okay? Then I can collapse my feet together. I post. I start to drive up. And I elevate that rudder leg. So now as Bill tries to move, I can finish my wrestle. Kind of two more traditional jiu-jitsu sweeps. Work really good still on the street. So I'm here with Bill. I get into this position. We're trying to. So here, as you can see, when I'm on the hamstring, it's really hard for Bill to wizard down. If I'm here, right, he has a lot of strength, he can pin me. Here, not so much. So another thing you'll see, if you guys want to, if you can have it, I don't ever put my hand in this position. I always turn my hand out. So Bill has to chase it. The other reason I do that is Bill drives into me, he pushes me up. And I do that from any time I'm doing get-ups. Could be an old school bump sweep, it doesn't matter. I put my hand this direction. Here, people can control it, grab it. Here, he has to reach for it. Okay, so I'm going to come up. I elevate that rudder. Keep the wizard. Okay, elevate this. I'm going to go drive in with my hip, sink, far knee, far ankle, and I pull Bill to the mat. I keep this and elevate this leg. So if Bill tries to shrimp out, I just pin it. So I'm pulling this leg up and extending that for my traction. So now when Bill moves, he's labored. Now I can pass if I need to. Just kind of gives us another options. Here. Elevate, 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 drive. We have a lot of guys that are probably better seniors than I am. I don't know, probably, definitely. Even a lot of guys in the cadre, but building up that foundation, and Chad talked about it, building the foundation to get to the moves you want to get, and sometimes we forget because we know how to do the moves, so it's very simple for us. So teaching that kind of that background to get guys into that position, because if you don't know the wrestle up, then I can't teach you the wrestle up from, side control bottom to get to that wrestle up position finish. So breaking those things down, and I've learned from a lot of guys in here. So another thing Chad missed that I wanted to cover, because I think it's something that is missed a lot, is as an instructor, and Chad missed it because he has it, is buy-in, but it's also like the charisma. Anyone have teenagers in here? Right? You have the Riz. Chad has Riz.
Dad, that was
It
so
just
last
needs
month.
charisma for anyone that doesn't have teenagers. And I think you gain charisma when you're instructing by being knowledgeable and being really comfortable with the material. And that's why I think everyone in here is a huge advocate, right? We don't want people teaching DTs that aren't good at combatives, right? It doesn't make sense. And how many of your guys' agencies at some point had someone that should not have been teaching?
Every hand, yes.
Right? But that's the cool thing about Invictus and all these other groups, right? EFC, C4C, OS, all that stuff, is that we're learning we're having all these guys that are such high levels. Like 10 years ago, we'd never get 40 black belts in a room. Never. And now I think last Tahoe when we had 50, New York we had like 60. I mean, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. I feel really honored just to be able to teach you guys. So I'll stop talking, get off my soapbox, and get back to training. And then a really early wrestle up. And the difference between those two things for me is if I can get the near underhook first. If I get flattened out, we all know like 4 points of contact, both shoulder blades, both hips on the mat is bad news. Okay? So Brian's here, he's in side control. Right? And his hands are locked. He's really tight here. First thing I have to do is I have to get my frames, right? So I like to get my hips out first. I know a lot of people like to frame first and then get their hips. I like to make Brian chase my hips to get my frames. So my frames are here. I just gooseneck. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to slide that knee in, right, which a lot of us do. And I go that knee-elbow position, good posture. When I go knee-elbow, my elbow is stacked on top of my leg. If my elbow is stacked below my knee, Brian can really easily pass this, right? If I'm stacked on top in that knee-elbow position, I can kind of chase Brian. So this is a moment in time I'm not going to stay here. So from here, as soon as I get to this position, keep your hands locked. This is going to come back here. I'm going to frame, but now I'm going to rotate Brian's chin. Okay, so I haven't seen that. I was here. I'm going to just cross, be nice to your partners. I just drag across, and then I'm going to clamp down. From this clamp, I'm going to extend to break his grips. Okay, so one more time. I frame, he's tight, I work knee elbow, I rotate this, if I need to adjust I can, I clamp, then I extend. Off this extension, okay, I'm gonna elbow block with my bottom hand, I'm gonna step off, this hand transitions to the armpit, and I wrestle up. So this is just me getting out of that position, right? We had some discussions about like newer cops. If you don't feel comfortable taking the fight to him, get up and use a tool. One more time, this way. Here, hip, frames, knee elbow. I rotate this, clamp, and I'm clamping like I'm driving this down for that shoulder pressure. I extend. And here I honestly don't care what you do with your hands. Whatever's comfortable. I can post, I can come to the shoulder. Okay, I step off, but this stays engaged. Here, I push, and I just get back up. So just to show a little bit more pace. Right, Brian's here, I get frames. I get here, I get the clamp. I break that grip, elbow block, armpit. This, I scoot, but I'm throwing myself out to get out of that position. So really kick with that that bottom knee you're getting in. It's also an opportunity to be early. So if Brian's maybe over-aggressive or trying to get on top of me, say I fall and trip over a curve, whatever it is, if I can shoot that underhook and get to that hamstring, I can wrestle up from there, right? I don't have to engage in any kind of guard, whether it be half guard or knee shield or whatever you want to run. I can get right into my attack. And I would say, like, it's better to be early than late. So we'll say I'm here in this position and Brian's starting to come in and he gives me this gap, okay? So maybe I'm shrimping away and he's coming in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come here. So I keep control on his hip with my top side arm. And then I'm going to come in, so my legs are splayed. I'm going to come in and go up off my elbow. And I'm going to come here, I'm going to hook his shin. So if you guys can't see, I'm not going to the hamstring this time, I'm going to the shin. As I come to this position, I'm going to pull Brian's foot towards me, and I'm going to step over. I keep it, and I get right back into that wrestle up position that we were already in. Okay, and then from here, I elevate, grip, and right back to my top position. So I'm here, Brian's coming in. Right? I don't want to be here. That gap's here. I come up, lock in the hamstring or the hip. I'm going to pull this shin towards me. I step over and I lift it. Just getting it open to get an eye. Okay? This elevates. As soon as I keep my hand on that shin until I have elevation. Far knee for ankle. Right. Normally I just show leg and stuff. So if you guys want to stand up and walk around. So how many of you guys like to do straight ankle locks? Should all raise your hand. Okay, I don't really care whether you run like traditional ashi or reverse ashi, doesn't matter. But a lot of times people get good at defending just a traditional straight. So if you guys want to come on this side, it'll be better.
It looks like it's the wrong side, but it won't.
It's not the wrong side, promise. So what I'm going to do, and I'm not worried about my legs right now, I just want hand position. You guys can play with your own legs. I always tell people, whatever entanglement you choose that works for you, use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it over to this side here. So I'm going to lock into Brian's arm. Sorry, guys. What I'm going to do from here, I'm going to just open my elbow so you can see. This hand is going to cut under right here. Okay? So my outside arm's going to come under Brian's shin. I'm going to grab my bicep. I'm going to clamp down my elbow. And this is what looks kind of weird. I promise it works. I'm going to bring my knuckles out like I'm hitchhiking. And then kind of over-exaggerate it, large back. And then everything here, just imagine like you're a statue. And I turn it. Here's my submission. Okay, so I brought this over. I'm here. Hand comes under. So I'm just driving right across the Achilles, just to where the archer bone is right there. This feeds to the bicep. My hand turns. I turn in. Yep. And he's tapping with no leg control. Okay, so your traditional, I can't get it. I feed it. I grip. I feed. Bicep, elbow down, hitchhiker, turn. Yep.
Nice.
And it's on the Achilles, not on his knee.
It's like a Achilles istema. Yeah, it's awful.